What's up, everyone? Welcome to Mike and Ant. After a missed week, I apologize about that. I take the blame for that. But we're back at it. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good.
Mm,
Enjoying this Saturday.
I respect it. We got the early game tomorrow, 9:30 in London, Rams and Jaguars. So we're looking for a good week this week.
Yeah, for the third straight week in a row, man. The NFL's got me waking up at the crack of dawn watching these games.
Yeah, that's 6:30 for you, right?
Yeah, 6:30 in the morning.
Lord of mercy.
I ain't even gonna lie. Last week I was watching who's the London game? Denver and the Jets.
Went back to bed.
Yeah, I fell asleep on the couch watching that.
I went back to bed in the first quarter because I just wasn't interested. So
Yeah,
don't feel bad. I didn't even let myself fall asleep. I just went to
yeah.
bed.
I fell asleep at halftime, and I woke up and it was like 13-11. I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't miss
Hey, listen, you didn't miss anything. It was like a high scoring baseball game. Like so, that's the. I actually tried to go back and rewatch the replay, and got through like two quarters and was like, yeah, there's no way. Like I'm not watching this game.
In all honesty, I don't even know how Aaron Glenn even has a job, especially the way he butchered the end of the half. Like
Bro,
even his players are like, bro, like, what are we doing? Did
yo,
you call timeout just to run out the clock?
yo, bro, I don't know. I've never seen something like that. Like I don't know what they was running the ball. Yo, Kurt Warner was pulling his hair out. Did you
Yeah,
hear?
Warner's like, I don't understand what they're doing. Like, I don't get the logic,
Yo, Warner was going crazy. I feel him. He couldn't hold it in.
bro. Garrett Wilson's on the team, and he was like yelling at him, like, bro, what are we doing?
Yeah. It's
Like,
like
what's the
it's
plan?
like Justin Fields isn't that bad for you to
Yeah,
just you can't throw the ball. Like what are we doing here? Yo, you know what I felt like seeing that game? I felt like he watched the Eagles game and was like, I'm gonna do that. Like that's the only thing I could think of. Like it looked like a bad version of the Eagles offense where it's like we're just gonna keep running the ball, we're not throwing. It just was getting sad.
The Eagles are ranked 26th in the NFL in offense. That's not really a team you want to emulate right now.
Yeah, no, I know, but that's what it looked like to me. It's like there's only one team that don't throw the ball like that. It's the Eagles.
Yeah,
So who told you that was a winning recipe with your team? Because I think they looked at it like, well, we got Fields, can do similar stuff. We got Brees Hall back there. He's decent. Let's try this Eagles stuff out. Bro, their offense is atrocious. Like, let's not try that Eagles stuff out because Garrett Wilson will be yelling his way out of there soon.
well, it was crazy to me about the Jets is that they look better. Their offense looked better with Tyrod Taylor than it does with Justin Fields right now.
Yeah, craziness. But off of that sad story, what about I guess before we get into the game
We
too
got
much,
we got more on the Jets later on, but you
yeah,
want to start off with the London game?
now I wanna bring up a shout out before that.
All right.
Shout out to Joey Flacco.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the Bengals looked good in dismantling the Steelers. That defense
oh
wise,
yeah. They called
Steelers,
the icy hot bowl because it was the first time two quarterbacks 40 plus played against each other.
and they both played real good,
They
both of them.
did.
Yeah, but they
I
did.
I said it a few weeks ago. I'm concerned about that Steelers defense. Like
Yeah,
Steelers always known to have like a top 10 defense, and they just haven't played like it this year.
they're spending a lot of money on defense too.
Yeah. And but for the Bengals though, I mean Joe Flacco did exactly what they brought him to do, which is get a win because their goal is just to stay afloat until Joe Burrow gets back. And with them winning on Thursday, they're only one game behind the Steelers for first place in that division. So
Yeah.
the playoffs in the division is still up for grabs, and they just need to, stay around 500, in my opinion, until Burrow can come back.
Yeah, I said it when they traded for Flacco. A lot of people was confused because they didn't reach out for Cousins or any of these people. They just dove strictly for Joey Flacco, right? Or Joe Flacco. I keep calling him Joey, right? But um, the the thing is, he knows that he's brought there for these games because what people fail to realize, he owned some of these teams when he was a Raven, right?
Yeah,
So now he knows this division. You're hoping to just stay stable and maybe get Joe Burrow back. So if he can beat teams like the Browns, which he's came from, which is awkward, right? But if he could beat teams like the Browns, the Steelers, and the Ravens, that's what they're looking at. Like those is probably going to be the differences between making the playoffs or not. And Joe Flacco, I think, gives them the best chance to win division games, right? So
Yeah, and
outside of that,
that's why Mike Tomlin of all people was kind of pissed off because he didn't understand why the Browns traded him in division. I think they said Flacco's only the fourth quarterback in NFL history to get traded inside the same division,
yeah,
and so Mike Tomlin was not happy about that.
yeah, because once again, now instead of going against the depleted Bengals, where you probably was thinking 3 interceptions, Joe Flacco came in, which you know that could beat you. So I mean, you've seen him enough to know what Joe Flacco can do. And I'll tell you one thing: Joe Flacco's never he's always been a statue. So that hasn't changed. He looks like all his arm strength is still there. So
Yeah, I mean he's just as slow at 40 as he was when he was 20.
yeah, it's but his arm looks the same too. You
Yeah,
know, it not saying he always makes the best decisions, but he gives the Bengals a real good fighting chance going forward.
well he was leading the league in interceptions until he got benched, and then Geno Smith was like, "Hold my beer," and he now leads the league in interceptions.
Yo, Gino's gonna definitely lead the league in interceptions at the end of the year too, unless he gets benched. We're just that's getting bad. I don't Gino might be out the league next year. He's playing himself out of jobs.
Yeah, and I mean I'll wait till we talk about the Raiders, but
Well,
yeah.
let's dive into the games, bro. Stop with the Rams and Jags. Let's get
All
in.
right, so we'll start with the London game. We got the LA Rams the LA Rams are playing the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. It's a Jaguars home game. The Jags, as we know, they play in London at least once a year.
Yeah,
The Rams are 3-point favorites. The story in this game though is Puka Nakua is out with the ankle injury. But the Rams they're doing something that I'm not really sure how I feel, and I guess we'll see how it plays out tomorrow.
yeah,
But normally for these London games, the teams they spend a whole week in London so they can adjust to the time difference.
yeah.
Sean McVay, he decided they're gonna stay here in LA and they're gonna fly to London today on Saturday, and so they can play the game tomorrow. And I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I don't know if it's a good move or a bad move because they got to adjust to the time difference. So we'll see how it plays out tomorrow. But I just thought it was interesting that McVay decided to fly out to London the day before the game instead of spending the whole week there.
If they're smart to add in, they already started factoring in the time difference a couple of days ago. So even though they're not there, um, say the time you'd be going to sleep out there would be 4, for example, for them.
Yeah,
I'm sure they started adjusting that. So I don't think McVay's dumb enough to make sure they don't get enough sleep. I think he's a very smart dude. So it seems like a dumb miscalculation. Which don't get me wrong, some young guys might not understand and they might get there in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Half asleep, right?
Well, not only that though, but I think it's like a 10-hour flight. So
That
if they leave today, they're probably not going to get there until like maybe midnight London time.
but see, this could be the plan. If their time was set,
Hmm.
it might be get their sleep and football's right when you get up. Kind of maybe similar to their schedule. The
Yeah,
only thing that I would have a problem with, and this is something that they probably obviously know a bit better, as I see that my mother's cigarette's been on camera the whole time. But on top of that, um, I would say the main thing I would worry about is jet lag. If they have players that have jet lag or get jet lag or flights affect them, things like that, then I would be worried about it. If he knows his players don't have that problem and they jump right off flights and looked good, which would be crazy because we haven't looked good once this year. I don't know why you would think that. But if you think that the flight weighs no bearing on how your players perform, I could see you telling them, let's chill home, relax with your family. You don't need a week over there to get into shenanigans. Just adjust your schedule, your alarm clocks. be ready to fly and play the game. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be right back home like it's no different than if we was flying to New York. Other than the flight's gonna be longer, you know? So
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to. But I do expect players to be jet lagged. And I'll give you my pick. I got the Rams winning. I wouldn't bet this game on the spread because I'm almost willing to guarantee the Rams win this by 3 points, which means that
Tie.
Vegas wins this game. You know what I'm saying, so that unless the Jags win the game, which I don't necessarily think this would be an upset. They're both good teams, but I believe Rams will pull it out with like a 2017 type of game.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Rams pull it out, and I also agree. I think the Jags they cover the 3 points. I
Yeah,
think it'll be a like you said a 20-17, maybe even a 17-14 type of game. The Jags do have a top five defense, with the exception of last week. They forced at least like 3 turnovers a game, and the Rams offensively, we have not looked good this year for whatever reason,
I
and
think
Having Puka out, um, it's not going to help either. I was as happy. I mean, I'm happy we got the win last week, but I
yeah.
was not impressed by how we played against Baltimore. Everybody's putting up like 40 points against the Ravens, and we can only score 17 against that defense.
Yeah. I feel like there was a bunch of complications in that game though, because I feel like we left that game getting 3 fumbles, but we should have had 7.
Yeah,
Like even the fumble in the goal line, and I believe it was Verse that might have picked it up and was running. The refs started running with him. People replayed that play. There's no whistle that blew. It's not there. You just didn't even edit it in the footage. No one blew a whistle. You know, but someone made a judgment call to call that back. That was a touchdown. He was at the 30-yard line with a referee running with him. No one even knew the ball was out, and there was no whistle. And we've seen that play before where that ball squirts out in those goal line stances. They always let. You know what bothers me? Stop me if the referee told, say, the past 5 years to let those plays go so they get the right call. Let it go, fix it after, right? They're getting worse. And this is what I mean. Before they was told that, they would let plays go. Since they started telling them that, they're blowing them dead. Look how many fumbles we've seen this year where they called the momentum stopped. Think about it. But it's like in subjective other plays, y'all see a running back break out of a hole 20 seconds late and he's going down the sideline and the play isn't whistled dead. I bear a question. How many seconds does it take for you to blow a whistle dead?
shit,
Why
like
how is it inconsistent? Is it subjective? It shouldn't be.
well, yeah. Not only that, but they added the new rule this year where uh just they're telling the refs, like you said, just let it run, and then if there's like anything that the referees miss, they can get a call in from the NFL headquarters in New York, and they'll
Yeah.
tell them like, hey, you missed this call penalty here.
Yeah, and then when
Oh,
you blow, 'cause
believe-
when you blow the whistle, you automatically rip it up. There's not even a chance to challenge it. So by you doing that, you're completely doing the opposite of what you're being told. Because you're not yet you're blowing the gun when they're telling you wait to see what happens. You're just shooting. You see what I'm saying? But the worst part is the NFL is getting exposed on a few things. Because once again, if you go back and watch that play live, there's no whistle. And with no whistle, the play isn't blown dead. That's why everybody's still fighting when Jared Verse is running. You decided 30 yards down the field for some reason, you you blow the play dead. You didn't actually do that in real time. Then I forgot what coach it was recently. I think it was Dan Campbell. Um, brought it up. Jared Goff scored that touchdown. Not one referee called the penalty. Not one.
yeah, he waited like 15 minutes later.
Yo,
So,
no, none of them. He's admitted it after, and I'm sure he got fined on the low, right? But he said that one of the refs told them that none of them seen that penalty and wasn't calling it. That when they was lining up for the extra point when they was gonna come out, that the officiating from NFL in New York called them and said it was an illegal motion, right?
Yeah.
Now you're playing God.
Well, yeah, the NFL is actually taking a lot of heat for that game too
Yeah,
because there was a lot of questionable calls in that Kansas City Detroit game.
yeah,
We'll talk about it later, but how Kansas City played a whole game and didn't have a single penalty. That's
yeah.
ridiculous.
And that Kelsey ball definitely hit the floor too.
Yeah.
But the thing is this, right? And it hit before he had possession. Because I know it can hit when he has it. That wasn't a catch by NFL standards.
No.
But the thing is this though. Um Before I used to say that. Get the referees off the field, let the guys in that's watching call it. But what I realize is this. And this is the part that people why they're ruining the game. The NFL is an imperfect game. It's supposed to be like that. What I mean is, by the human eye, you're going to miss things. And why I say that is, realistically, when you have, say, for example, an eyeball watching everything on every play, you can call a penalty on every single play. Anybody that knows football knows that. You can find a hold, you can find an awkward block, you can find a low hit. You can if you're looking, if your goal is to find a penalty, not just look and call the obvious. If your goal is to find penalties, you can find one every
And
now.
that's why people were mad because it's like you said, you can find a penalty literally on every play. So how the fuck did Kansas City go a whole game and not
Yeah,
have any penalty?
this is what I told you about playing God, right? The referees may miss plays. It's true, right? And then you challenge them and you get to look at it. That was a good regimen, right?
Mhm.
Now I'm noticing what the problem is. That eye in the sky, they're God, which means that I'll make it simple. If one of them is betting on something, bro, they'll call a play away. For example, how many plays have you seen recently that a guy's 40, 50 yards down the field and the announcers are saying late flag? Like, bro, there's no way you're seeing a hold at the line and you're waiting until the running back is 40 yards down. Give you example, the Judkins touchdown recently, right? The 55-yarder, right?
Mhm.
He's at the 20-yard line going into the end zone, 20 yards away from the touchdown. The handoff was at the 45. If there was a holding at that line, he wouldn't have been 50 yards down the field already. Like it's almost to the point where certain plays, it's like he's gonna score, find something, and they find it, they make the call, and it's like throw a penalty. Nobody on the field even knows it's a penalty. You went and found the one thing to throw.
I'll say this about the new rules this year with the NFL with the NFL headquarters in New York playing God, and also to the new kickoff rule where you got to kick it inside the
Terrible,
target zone or whatever.
terrible rule.
Telling you, it might not happen this year, but one of these years, one of these new rules is gonna fuck around and cost somebody a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it is. Of course it is. But even better, that look that right now they got the ability to just dictate. It's like you thought the refs was bad. I'll find calls on plays that they definitely weren't calling
Oh yeah,
because
especially if your job is just to watch every game and then call the field the ref would be like, hey, you missed this call it on this team.
because I know the football I fell in love with back in the days. There wouldn't been one referee that would have do a holding call when the play's already over. Look, he's gone. He's down the field. I'm not gonna continue watching the linemen that have nothing to do with the play no more. And when he's about to run in the end zone, be like, "Oh, you still fighting? Hold!" It's like, bro, it's over. They're always gonna bang. That happens. It's always been like that. But now the referees want to ruin plays. That's what it seems like. It's like, look it, kid just ran 80 yards. You're gonna throw a hold that held no bearing on the play, and probably dudes should have been done fighting with each other, but they continued it. You're gonna take. I just this is
With the Jared Goff play, I've never seen anything like that where they literally waited until the
yeah
Lions was getting ready to kick the extra point to call for a
yeah.
play.
It's because once again, Campbell spilled the beans. The refs didn't see anything wrong with that play. None of them called it. They was ready to line up for the kick, and one of them got a call that was like, "But wait, what?" So none of them knew that was a penalty, and you called in, or did did that touchdown hurt somebody's pockets for some reason, and you had to make sure it went away? You see what I'm
Either that or somebody had money on the Chiefs and was like, "Hey, we gotta kill the Lions' momentum right here."
Bro, they was destroying the Lions that whole game. If Goff scores that touchdown, I think the Lions probably win that game. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I just that was maybe the first Chiefs game I ever watched that looked like it may have been rigged. Before I used to laugh when people said it, and like the Chiefs is blowing these teams out. Anyways, that game was won by the referees. It was not really won by the Chiefs.
I don't like I said, still blows my mind that they had no penalties the whole game. So you mean to tell me that that team is that disciplined? Only the Lions was fucking up. The Chiefs had no penalties the whole game.
Yep,
And then you can go on Twitter or whatever, and you can see all the holding calls and shit that they missed.
yep.
Legal blocks in the back.
Bro, they're picking and choosing. It's disturbing. I'm like before I never would buy into the NFL being rigged. I won't lie to you. I'm already at 50-50. Since they got involved with the betting and they promote the betting and stuff, it's a lot of funny shit that happened that just we didn't see before.
After the NBA got exposed about 20 years ago,
Yeah.
nothing gets past me now. Like
You
I've
want
always been 50.
you want to know a bold take? I wonder if that's why when players get caught betting, they take it so severe. Do you know who's gonna win? Is that why they take it so personal? You know,
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? If you're an NBA player and you know they gave you your stat sheet and you're giving your cousin the stat sheet, like, look, I can't get more than 3 rebounds a game. Bet that every game because they won't let me. You see what I'm
like
saying? So if
Like that Malik Beasley situation. They showed the clip of his team was down by 7
yeah,
with like 6 seconds to go. He sprinted down the court to get one last layup just so he can cover the spread.
and they dropped those charges, right?
Yeah, I saw that. But the NBA is still doing their little investigation, so he's not even back in the league yet.
Yeah, but you remember what I told you, right? When it comes down to someone that got a little bit of name recognition, it don't hit the same.
Nah.
Man, we talked about it. You could go back and find it. I believe it was on a recording.
Yeah,
Like,
see, even though the FBI dropped their charges, the NBA is still doing their investigation. So I think they're gonna use him as like a what's the word? It's kind of like a can't think of the word right now.
a scare.
A scapegoat. Yeah, there you go. They're gonna use him as a scapegoat to deter other players from gambling and shit.
I think that they give him a smack on the wrist. Tell you the truth, I think that's all they do.
Yeah, but because of this whole thing though, the Pistons cut him and no team has signed him yet.
Yeah, but I think a team like the Lakers is going to be looking at a steal in a second. That's what to tell you the truth. I mean, maybe it's just me looking at it, but it's going to be one of those teams that don't have money and thinks they want to compete for a championship. He'll get a call soon. He probably might be out. He also could be take like a year suspension. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it goes. I just don't see him getting too much. But let's dive back into this ball.
All right. So the next game we have the New Orleans Saints at 1-5 at the Chicago Bears 3-2. The Bears have now won 3 straight games after starting the season 0-2. They are 4-point favorites in this game. They're at home. Caleb Williams versus Spencer Rattler. Who do you got?
I'm gonna do something dangerous here. I got the Saints winning the game.
Oh shit! Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been looking at Ratty. We'll call him Ratty for now, but I've been looking at his stats, bro. He's out playing some quarterbacks, right? He's out. He's probably right now top 15 if you're looking at numbers, and he's playing above a lot of quarterbacks and just playing. And I don't.
Yeah, but they're always behind. That's why.
I know, but it doesn't matter. He's not throwing interceptions neither. You see what I'm saying? So it's sometimes you get the padded stats and the picks to go with it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not throwing the picks. So had their defense not been so terrible, he's playing well enough to win a lot of these games. He's been in a lot of these games. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So far, the defense has only played well in one game. And that's the game they won.
Yeah.
The
And
Giants.
that's
That Giants game was weird because if you look at the stat sheet. you're like, okay, the Giants blew them out, but the problem is the Giants kept turning the ball over in that game. They turned the ball over 5 times.
Yeah,
That's why the Saints won.
and
Um,
that's I think will be the determining factor in this game. I think the
Turnovers.
Bears offense has a couple of turnovers, and the Saints don't. I think it'd probably be an ugly game, 25-22, a number that you're not expecting. It's going to be another one of those ugly games for the Saints, but I think that their defense can at least contain Chicago a little bit. Some of these other teams, they just did they was blowing them out from the jump because their offense is too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Bears
I would agree with you if the Saints were playing at home, but since the Bears are at home, I think I agree with you. I don't think the Bears will blow them out. I actually think the Saints will cover the 4 point,
yeah.
but I do think the Bears will win this game.
I one of my other things reason for picking that the way this year's went is every week there's been a couple of matchups where it's like that wasn't supposed to happen, and I think the Bears beating teams they weren't supposed to beat, winning three in a row, and now they're gonna lose to the team they supposed to be. You see, it's just kind of like just a rhetorical story with that about this.
I think things are gonna balance itself out.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like this is that game. It's kind of like when the Giants beat the Chargers. You was like, oh, they're definitely dots coming to steamroll the Saints. Saints got you. And then you came back the next week. It's like, oh, Giants ain't winning this week. Giants come out and look great and beat the Eagles. You see what? So it's
Blew
like,
'em out.
but do you see what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
You see the trend. The trend is the teams are beating the teams or losing to the teams. They excuse me. Teams are losing they supposed to be and beating the teams they supposed to lose to. It's just kind of what the NFL is doing this year. It maybe need to stop betting on that. I mean, but I'll stick with the Saints winning that game. I think Rattler throws for 250 and a couple of touchdowns. I think Caleb gives one away at least, and I think there's probably a fumble as well.
All right. So you taking the Saints. I got the Bears winning their fourth game in a row. I think they beat New Orleans. I
Yeah,
will say though, I think Spencer Rattler is probably playing out of all the quarterbacks in the league, he's probably playing the freest
yeah,
because he has nothing to lose. Like everybody thinks anyway that
yeah,
the Saints are drafting the quarterback next year.
yeah,
So for Spencer Rattler, he just throwing caution to the wind and he's playing free.
yeah.
Because it's like if he plays well, it's great. Nobody expected that. If he plays bad, it's like okay, it is what it is. Everybody expected it to be bad anyway. So
I think he's just playing for another team because I think the better he looks, the more they'll get for him if they trade him. I don't. I know if they have a bad record at the end of the year, they're gonna draft QB.
well, yeah, I mean, right now they're 1-5, so
Yeah, so
they're
it's
they're in line for this number 2 pick.
yeah. He's gonna be like a Case Keenum or like a Fitzpatrick. You know what I'm saying? Like he might play himself into a contract how he looks here. Someone might give him a 2-year contract, but I think he'll eventually stop falling apart. That's
Actually, Case Keenum's a good name that you brought up because we saw what he did when he was on a loaded team like Minnesota.
yeah,
Remember, they went all the way to the NFC Championship
yeah,
game.
yeah.
So I'm curious, like we put some talent around Spencer Rattler. I'm curious to see what he could do.
That's what I'm telling you. I think he's an overachiever, but I think those kind of guys have a big chip on their shoulder. It's kind of like a Kurt Warner mind state. Like I don't supposed to be here. That's why they're so free. It's like you said, he's playing free. And I think sometimes it just comes down to he's not scared. Like you know what I'm saying? Some of these guys that are far superior to him just get to the NFL and they get nervous. He's playing like he just got a car that doesn't matter if he totals. It's like we good.
Yeah,
So he's outplaying a lot of dudes. But yeah, if he had a little bit of talent too, his connection with Olave is getting better. But if he had a little bit more talent over there, I'd be interested to see what he could do.
I agree. All right, so we'll move on to the next game. We have the Miami Dolphins at 1-5 at the Cleveland Browns at 1-5. The Browns, probably for the first time all season, are actually favored. They're 2.5 point favorites in this game. The story for this game is actually Tua. Tua, a lot of people, he took a lot of heat from his own team for snitching because he came out last week after the game talking about guys ain't showing up to meetings. guys are either are late to meetings, coaches ain't holding players accountable. And then you had Mike McDaniel talking about he don't know what Tua's talking about, and then had Tua make an apology, uh, saying that his comments are out of line.
Don't
And then
like.
for the Browns, you got Miles Garrett saying that you know, the offense is holding them back. And for Miles Garrett, it's like I really don't want to hear it because you asked to be traded,
Yeah, you took
and
the
then
money.
the Browns, threw money at your ass to shut you up.
Yeah,
So
and you accept
you
it.
signed up for what you get what you signed up for, basically.
Yeah, I think he'll get it. I think he'll get him. I think I know what he did. That contract's probably set where after like 2 years, he could ask for a trade still and get most of the money from them, and someone else would pay the rest. Like so,
Yeah, but my thing with Miles Garrett though is like, don't say that okay, you want to go to a team where you can compete for a Super Bowl, but then as soon as they offer you more money, you don't stand your ground. You just take the money.
I keep it
And
real.
if you really want to win a Super Bowl, stand your ground and request to be traded.
I 100% agree. I don't think he should have took the money, and after the money, I am like talk to your team, tell them to get better. But we, like the people, we
Yeah.
don't need to hear it no more because you already tried that once. It's like run along with that. But as far as before I even get into the game,
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the Tua situation?
right? Two is 100% right. This isn't the streets, bro. It's not the streets. Two has probably never been on any block in his life,
He was
right?
born and raised in Hawaii.
Yeah, this is what I'm telling you, right? So what Tua was doing was strictly in line when it comes to football that any team leader would do when your team sucks and they're not carrying themselves accordingly. Now, McDaniels, bro, you ain't got a job. Nobody cares what you gotta say. You're literally a walking corpse right now. Like you mean nothing to the Miami Dolphins. I'm not sure why they haven't fired you yet, but I know you won't be their coach next year. So it doesn't matter what you say. That's the first thing. You're mad because you got exposed that your players don't respect you and you can't even get them to show up to meetings. Now, two is telling you why they're bad. You're mad because the truth hurts. I know they've heard that saying, the truth hurts. And Tua came out there and was honest. He's a good person. Tua spilled the beans. You're not controlling players. Players ain't showing up to stuff. It's why you're bad. You know what I'm saying? So don't be mad that I told people, be mad you can't get your players to show up. Like you should be mad at yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you should not be mad at me. And when someone says keep it in house, well, bro, it's probably been going on for a year and a half. Keep it in house. When shit don't work, when you're keeping it in house, where you gotta go? AJ Brown kept it in house for a while, right?
Right. And they was winning.
Yep. So listen, bro. Team leaders don't play that shit. And as far as the things that two is not good at, being a team leader has never been something anyone's questioned about him. And the fact that y'all are so pathetic and so bad and your coach is so miserable, you're right now making the team leader apologize for being the team leader. He's supposed to do that. Like, just think about this. Really think about this. Your team leader calls the players out. This has happened for the last 30 years in football, and your team's supposed to man up, not be like, bro, say an apology. We're not showing up next week neither.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's like if I'm Tua or even Mike McDaniel, I mean, even though that you're right, he's a dead man walking, but still, it's like y'all ain't showing up to meetings anyway. So fuck it. Why
I'll
do
be
you
honest
need
with
to
you.
apologize?
Him standing up to Tua could have potentially saved his job because if him and Tua got together, started demanding more from their players, you have to show up, getting ownership involved, stuff like that. The owner will respect that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to
Like,
hold the players accountable.
like you telling me that you can't get people to show up and tell your team leader to shut up because he spilled the beans because you can't control people. Yeah, I don't. If I'm the owner, I'd have fired you that day. Like,
Yeah, like if you say the team meetings at 8 o'clock, your ass need to be there at 8 o'clock. You can't just not show up.
yeah,
That's like me not showing up to work.
yeah. And when that happens and your team leader calls you out, you did something wrong, not him. It's just the truth of the matter. He's calling you out because for you to be a good team in the NFL, you gotta there's more expected. You see what I'm saying? And if your team leader ain't speaking up when you're doing less than that, then who is? Especially when your coach isn't.
Well, see, and that's why I'm surprised that like Tua's being called a snitch because like you said, he's doing what a team leader's supposed to do. No, he's seen his teammates, they're not showing up to meetings, or if they are showing up, they're showing up late. And
Yeah,
Tua's like, this is why we're losing. This
yeah,
is why we're 1-5. This is why we can't compete.
yeah.
Because guys ain't showing up to what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. Um, with all that, I'll just say this: I ride for Tua in that whole situation. I think the Dolphins are a sad shell of a football team right now. It's actually pretty pathetic. Like even though there may be teams a little bit worse than them, they're not as sad as them right now, as far as an organization. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe they'll get this one. I think that just Tua alone will probably be enough to get this win. I think that they're if they lose this game, McDaniels is fired before next week starts. I think Jalen Waddle we see in another jersey within the next couple of weeks, maybe even A Chain. I think that if they lose this game this week, everything gets ripped up. And unfortunately, Tyreek Hill being injured made Waddle available because now you can't get rid of the Hill contract. Waddle, unfortunately, is the next guy to go. You know what I mean, I think they would have preferred the other way, get rid of Hill and keep Waddle, but you can't now. You know what I'm saying? So it's probably dismantle time, which means what do they have? Waller looks like a good piece to trade right now. Actually looks back to himself. Um, Waddle, A Chain, they might have a few O line pieces, maybe something on defense, Chubb for sure. But if they lose this game, it's full overhaul, which means Mike McDaniels don't make it to next week. But I believe they'll pull it out. I think he'll be safe for another week.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting you mentioned that before we jumped on. I saw on Twitter that the Lions are interested in Chubb, but
It
I'm
has
gonna
begun.
say again.
I said it has begun.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna disagree with you on this one again. I got the Browns winning this game and covering the 2.5. I just think the Browns right now. I mean, I think they're better, especially defensively. The
Yeah,
Browns do have
for
a
sure.
top five defense. Offensively, you got to protect the quarterback. Dylan Gabriel, he looked good against Minnesota. But he got his ass whooped against Pittsburgh, and I do like his comments because they asked him like, did you say anything to the O line about the beating you took? And he's like, look, my mom used to beat my ass all the time, so that's nothing compared to what she did to me. And I thought that was like a perfect answer. He didn't throw his teammates under the bus. He did throw his mom under the bus, but that
Yeah.
was a perfect answer.
DSS will be there.
Yeah. So I thought Dylan Gabriel's answer was good, but I think Cleveland is just a better team, and I think they'll win. Plus, they're playing at home, and there's supposed to be some bad weather tomorrow in Cleveland, so it might be cold. Dolphins historically don't really do well in cold weather, so I think the Browns will pull it out.
The reason why I lean towards the Dolphins because I think that the people who like Tua are gonna play their asses off him. No, so I think like the Waddles, his running backs, his O line, because I do believe there's a lot of people there that like him. I think it's the coach that lost the team. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, because a couple people spoke out, now it looks like the coach and the team are attacking Tua. But I think when you really deep dive, most of the team would side with Tua over McDaniels.
Well, yeah, the only ones who are not going to side with Tua are the players that are showing up late to meetings or not showing up at all.
Yeah.
Those are the people Tua was talking about.
Yeah, he's not talking about the ones that's busting their ass. So
Yeah.
that's why I feel like, and then it also comes down to Waddle probably loves it in Miami. Do you want to leave? Like you got to do something if you don't want to leave. You see what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah, and not only that, but for Waddle, him and Tua, they've been playing together since college. They went to
College,
college.
yeah, yeah. And this is why I'm telling you, I feel like Waddle in particular is gonna have a game this week. You know, it might be a bad time to have it because it might be bang, we got to trade him now. But I think he's going to be playing his ass off to try to save to his job. That's why I picked Miami.
I agree. But I mean I agree. I think Waddle might play his ass off. And I think there are players there that do like Tua, and they'll play hard for Tua. But I just think Cleveland will pull it out at home.
Hey, I respect it. On to the next.
All right, so on to the next game. We got the Las Vegas Raiders at 2-4, at the Kansas City Chiefs at 3-3. We talked a little bit about the controversy last
Oh,
week.
no, did you say the Kansas City Cheats?
Chiefs. Yeah, I might have said that might have been a 40 and split.
Yeah, you did. Kansas City Cheats. Go ahead.
But yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 3-3. They're 11.5 point favorites at home, which I think is ridiculous because the Raiders always play the Chiefs tough. Even when the Raiders, I mean, the Raiders are bad, but
Well,
even when
what
the Raiders have
Gino's been
fierce
doing,
quarterbacks,
Gino's liable to give you 14 now.
yeah, Geno Smith. But I mean, even with Aiden O'Connell last year, they played the Chiefs tough. They actually should have beat Kansas City
He
last
might
year.
have been an upgrade over the way Gino looked this year.
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
Well, okay, so let me get to my Geno Smith point that I was about to say. But at some point, if you're Pete Carroll,
Yeah.
why not play Kenny Pickett? Like, what do you have to lose? He can't be any worse than Geno Smith.
Oh, no way he can be worse than Geno Smith. Not at this point. I don't know. Like I told you, if I was
Like,
Pete, I
is
would
it
have.
because they gave Geno all that money? Like, I don't understand. Like, why not just play Kenny Pickett?
Yeah, that's got to be why. I mean, I would have personally just fucking ate that money. Like I told you, I would have ate that money, released him, and gave the Giants what they wanted to send me Russell, but they pay the contract. That's what I would have did. I think that way, if Russell can't run Pete's offense, it may just be Pete's offense now.
Well, actually, I'm surprised too about this is a little off track, but about Russell Wilson real quickly. I am surprised because according to reports, nobody has called the Giants about trading for Russ. It
Yeah,
said the Giants have gotten phone calls for Jameis Winston, who's QB3, but nobody wants Russ, and I'm surprised by that.
'cause I think Jameis got more juice right now in his arm than Russ. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's always had a stronger arm in general. You know what I'm saying? So Jameis probably gives you more than Russell at this point. I just like Russell with Pete because I think with the running backs, they just remind me a lot of Seattle on offense. Mediocre wide receivers, a real good running back, decent O line. Just think that Russ would be able to run that offense a lot better. Get off of that, let Russ cook shit, and just go back to that same simplified Seattle offense that you had in the beginning. I think the Raiders would be stable at least. But
These last 5 years, Pete Carroll saying these last 5 years is the reason why I never let Russ cook.
yeah, I mean, I see. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I got the Chiefs winning this game and I got them winning big. So I got them covering. I know typically these is close games is the division game, but Geno Smith has looked all worldly bad. Like 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 he looks like Geno that we thought was a bust. Remember in like the beginning of his career on the
Yeah,
Jets? He looks like that guy that can't make decisions. He's forcing passes. He looks overconfident. And I remember at the beginning of the year, he said he never felt like Seattle was his team. Well, maybe that's why you played safe. Now you feel like this is your team. You're just throwing air missiles everywhere, right? So I think that the Chiefs is gonna take a house call on him, at least one. So
Geno Smith right now is on pace to throw 26 interceptions this season.
well,
Like
he got to pick it
he's
up to beat Jameis Winston's. I mean, you got to pick it up to beat 30.
yeah, he got to. As I say, he's getting close to Jameis Winston's record, which is 30.
Yeah,
No, so yeah, you
Jameis
got. You're right. You got to pick it up. You need to at least throw like 4 or 5. He needs like a game where he throws like 4 or 5 interceptions.
it might be this game, but the thing is, Jameis Winston wasn't even throwing like he was still slinging that year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, he had like one of the weirdest stat lines: 5,000 yards passing,
yo,
33 touchdowns,
yeah, like, but
also 30 interceptions.
Gino's just throwing to the other team, man. There's some of these plays. It was like a couple weeks ago. It was like 3 charges. I didn't even see a black jersey. what are you throwing to over there? I know that somebody may be supposed to be there, but you got to see there's nobody there. You got to see that. I don't know, but I think the Chiefs will cover. It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't, but I have a funny feeling the Chiefs are gonna have their resurgence starting after last week. So I think they'll probably handle business here.
Well, the big news for the Chiefs though is that they do get Rashid Rice back, who's suspended for the first 6 games.
Out of it.
We'll see how that helps their offense. I'm picking the Chiefs to win, but I think the Raiders will cover. The point spread's 11.5. I can see the Raiders losing by 10.
Yeah. The Chiefs had a chance to do something ill. If they would have traded for Tyreek Hill, imagine their three wide receivers lining up with was Rasheed Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Tyreek Hill. Fast cars everywhere. Like, bro, like even right now, to get to see Worthy and Rice on the same field together, they haven't played much together at all. You know what I'm saying? So
Now, because Rice tore his ACL like
yeah,
early last season,
yeah,
which is why they had to make the trade for DeAndre Hopkins.
yep. And I think that right now I think that we see how special this offense can be with everybody on the field. And I think it's gonna look pretty good. I also think that this will finally allow them to run the ball a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
his
it still blows my mind that Patrick Mahomes is their leading rusher.
yeah, Pacheco started off looking so good in the beginning of his career. Now he just looks like he's moving 1,000 miles an hour, but he only gets 2 yards.
Well, he did break his leg last year. Like I wonder if he's like fully recovered.
Yeah, but even before that, I mean, it's like he just doesn't. He looked like he's still moving fast, but he's not. I don't. It's kind of weird to explain. He just doesn't like he gets the ball moving so fast, but he just gets stopped so quick. I don't understand it. He's a confusing player to watch because I thought he was gonna be like real good, but I think that they'll at least win this game by 2 tubs.
All right. Well, the question is, do you think Juju Smith-Schuster recovered from that ass whooping he took last week?
Um, no, I don't think he's ever recovered emotionally from his bike being stolen, so I doubt it.
It's funny. I saw on Twitter that a bunch of Steelers fans they're trying to pull up money together to help Brian Bench pay his fine.
The worst part, to be fair, and I noticed everybody kind of like ragged on Juju because they got the pitches on the ground. But if you when they both was actually tussling, Juju threw him on the floor.
Yeah.
Like when he got him after the game, that's cool. But when Juju charged him and it was just him and him, he dragged you. And I think that's why he got mad at the end of the game and attacked him. And you kind of did it on some sucker shit. So I mean I'm not gonna knock Juju too much over that because you could go.
Also, too, I also want to know like 'cause it was a combination of things. First, Patrick Mahomes said something to him, and then Juju said something. So I kind of think whatever Patrick Mahomes said first is what really pissed him off, and
Yeah,
I think Juju might have just added on to it, and I was just kind of like what set him off at that point.
yeah.
And obviously, he knew he couldn't punch Patrick Mahomes because he'd be kicked out of the league.
Oh yeah,
He was
100%.
coming after Juju because Juju that's just 1 game suspension.
Yeah, yeah. Also, we get a 1 game suspension for a punch. I feel like we're gonna start seeing a lot more fights,
Oh yeah.
like especially with wide receivers. I remember when Dre, Dre Johnson who was it from the Titans
Oh
Finnegan,
yeah.
Finnegan.
I I can't even think of his name. I know you're talking about. He was.
Golden Finnegan. He played for the Rams too.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because he was like a trash talker DB, and he used to piss off a lot of wide receivers.
and
Everybody was just shocked because like Andre Johnson,
yeah,
like one of the most like well mannered receivers. Like, he was quiet. He never said anything.
caught him.
Yeah, it's like
And
he pushed this guy off.
I think it's the same type of thing. Like now, if you're a cornerback or a wide receiver that runs your mouth, and the guy that's on the other side of you knows he could beat your ass, and it's a 1 game suspension, I don't know how much the shit talk is gonna go now. You know, like I just don't because I feel like there's certain players, like for example, and not even just saying size. Say there's a 5'10" cornerback that keeps lining up in front of DK Metcalf running his mouth. he knows he could punch you and get a 1 game suspension, good luck, bro. You might want to just start chilling now. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I'm looking at it. Or same thing. Like, say you have 5'7", 5'8" wide receiver, and you keep running your mouth to Jalen Ramsey. It's like, bro, one of these dudes are gonna hit you. It's gonna just
Yeah,
take the one
it'll,
game.
it'll be worth it'll be worth the 1 game suspension.
I guarantee you, a new life trash talking now is gonna be people saying, "Don't worry, I'll take a 1 game suspension." It's like when someone's running their mouth to him, it's gonna be like, "Bro, I got a 1 game suspension. You keep talking." It's like, bro, good luck. But I mean, it is what it is. I think Juju was in the right because he defended his quarterback. Um, I think that Branch should have been suspended more than 1 game, not for the punch. I'm not really. That's whatever. Like the fact that he attacked somebody after the game, I think he deserved more than a 1 game suspension because you need to set precedent. It doesn't matter what he did before. You attacking people after the game should have cost you the whole year. Like they're not doing you like how WWE is doing people. You still would have got paid. You see what I'm saying? But you should have been suspended for the whole year so people understand before and after games. If you in the heat of the moment in a game get into something, cool. You ain't gonna be attacking people after games. You know what I'm saying? And now you might have players fighting in the parking lot. Things like that. So I would have gave him more than a 1 game suspension personally.
All right. Well, the next game is the Carson Wentz Bowl, as we have the Philadelphia Eagles 4-2 at the Minnesota Vikings 3-2. The Eagles are 2.5 point favorites on the road. Carson Wentz will get the start again as JJ McCarthy is still out with that sprained ankle. Um, Carson Wentz obviously playing against his former team. A little bit of revenge there, hopefully. Obviously, the story for the Eagles is they've lost 2 in a row and they've gotten blown out by the Giants last week. They have the 26th ranked offense. They can't throw the ball. They can't run the ball. They really can't do anything offensively. And I know Jalen Carter, he's a beast, but since he's been hurt, that defense has been bad too. Um, so yeah, who do you got? Eagles, Vikings. Eagles 2.5 point favorites on the road.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles, but I mean, we could be watching something where the Eagles are gonna just start dropping games. Like people might not. I think I believe it was a post that said that they showed the blueprint how to beat them, right? And I don't know how necessarily true that was because they was whooping your ass and you came back in the last quarter and won. So I don't know if that was necessarily a blueprint. I think the Giants may have just put out the blueprint. They beat them with a rookie quarterback. So that might be the blueprint. Carson Wentz revenge makes it interesting. Jefferson, obviously, there's no one in the league can cover him. And the fact that the Eagles have coverage problems right now, the fact that they're going against Addison, Jefferson, Thielen might even be mixed in here a little bit, and Naylor. I think the Eagles are going to have a world of trouble there. So it wouldn't surprise me if they drop this game because the Vikings are putting up points that they can't match. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to take the safe pick and I'm going to go with the Eagles. I'm going to go with it. The spread's 2.5, you said?
Yeah, 2.5 for the
I'm going to
Eagles.
go with them covering as well.
Yeah. Well, okay. So the good news for the Eagles is Jalen Carter. He's listed as questionable.
Yeah.
So it's 50-50. He'll play tomorrow. The only reason I'm taking the Eagles is because I have a feeling that Carson Wentz might try to do too much.
Yeah.
He might throw the Carson Wentz special, or that pick six, or a fumble.
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. So because of that, I got the Eagles winning. I think they cover the 2.5.
Just say one thing. I would love to see Carson Wentz whip their ass, though. So I'd be
Oh,
lying
yeah. Same,
if
same here.
don't throw that out there. But you could jump to the next game.
I mean, I don't know what to talk about for this next game, but we'll talk about it. We
I,
have Carolina Panthers 3-3
yeah,
at the 0-6 New York Jets.
yeah,
The Jets are the only team in the NFL that have yet to win a game. They are in prime position for that number one pick, Carson Beck or Drew Aguilar. Those are the top 2 quarterbacks in college.
And the
They might be
Jets,
playing they might be playing for the Jets next year.
I think we see Beck in that uniform.
You think so?
Hmm
Well, yeah, Aguilar got hurt last week. He's out for the season, so we'll see how that hurts his draft stock.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, the Jets look bad. The Panthers, though, they are 3-3. They look terrible to start the season, but they've now won 3 of their last 4 games, and they're going to be 1.5 point favorites
yeah.
on the road. So who you got? Panthers, Jets.
Make it simple. The Panthers are starting to look like what we thought they would look like, and good thing it happened now before the end of the season, and it's too late because now they're fighting. They're right in the thick of things. Um, they win this going away. I expect the Jets another team to start trading away everybody outside of Fields and Wilson because they just signed him to a contract. It would be no way without slaughtering the salary cap, and it would make absolutely no sense unless someone gave you like a house for like 3 first-round picks, which they're not giving you, fam. You know, so um, it's gonna be rebuild time, new quarterback. Unfortunately, Garrett Wilson's gonna have to deal with that. But I believe Brees Hall and a couple of these pieces get traded before the deadline. And I do believe the Panthers cover the spread. They get to 4 wins this week, and they do it easily.
Oh shit! Hold on.
Pardon the silence. And to be back, he's just handling something. Bear with us. There he is. All right.
All right, my bad, bro. My goodie bag came in.
Now you good, bro. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I thought that's what it was. I wasn't sure. You know what I'm saying?
And
All
she
right,
came
let's
knocking on the door. I was like, hold
Cali and they come with the knock. Not even
on.
come outside. How you doing?
Yeah,
Got this for you. I heard someone in here stressing.
yeah.
Man, looking for Smokey. You know what I'm saying? But dive into the next game, bro.
Let me give you my picks.
All right, yeah.
So back to what you were saying though about Justin Fields. I don't think they're going to trade Justin Fields.
Oh,
If
he's
I'm
not.
the Jets, I just keep playing them because at this point, just keep doing what you're doing. You're going to get the number 1 pick. The thing that surprises me about the Jets though is that their defense, like when Robert Saleh was the coach, they had a top 10 defense every year. Aaron Glenn is supposed to be a defensive guy. He got the
Have
job because what
play
he
it.
did as a defensive coordinator with the Lions, and the Jets defense has been terrible this year.
Oh, listen, remember we was talking about it, and the cornerbacks don't look good neither. Send Sauce to LA. But yeah, they look bad, bro. I don't think we'll have a he's one of them guys that you can see coaching like the NFL coaching job is way too big for him. It doesn't mean that he won't be good down the line, but it's just too big of a job for him right now. You can see it.
Yeah, you can see it. Like sometimes he looks over his head. We talked about it off camera, but like last week against the Broncos, okay, you get a first down, you can at least try to get into field goal range, make it to get some points before the half. Instead, you call timeout,
Yeah,
and then after the timeout, your plan was just to run out the clock and go to halftime. Like that didn't make no sense.
it was arguably the weirdest drive like to end a half that I may have ever watched in my life in the NFL. Like I've seen dudes just nail the ball down with a minute and something left because the other team don't got timeouts, and been like, damn, why they didn't want to get points because they didn't trust their quarterback, right? I've never seen a team with a paid quarterback and pieces that are very, very good, right?
Well, okay, I will say this though. I'll defend him here. I can see why he doesn't trust Justin Fields because at halftime last week, Justin Fields had negative 10 yards passing, which I don't even know how that's possible.
It's
He had negative 10 yards
but
passing.
remember, here's the thing: the quarterbacks are trained to throw to their first read if it's open. Those are your calls, not his. You see what I'm saying? So when he's going to that first read that's 2 yards down the field, you're essentially telling him to do so. You know what I'm saying? You don't go to your second read unless the first read isn't open. So if your first 2 yard dump off is always open, you're telling him to always take the 2 yard dump off, which isn't allowing him to get yards. If your first read is a 15 yard route, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's the difference. That's a coaching thing. Like he's not throwing interceptions. He's been overprotective of the ball. There's no reason for you to play a dink and dunk when you guaranteed him like 40 million for 2 years. Like you gotta win or lose with him. So that's I don't care how scared you are. Win or lose with him. You're 0-6. It cannot get worse. I promise you. There's no other losses you can get. You're at the maximum. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I think the Jets are gonna fall to 0-7.
Yeah.
I have the Panthers winning. They're gonna cover the 1.5. The only question for the Jets is they're gonna be in line for the number one pick. So they're definitely gonna take a quarterback next year. The question is, how safe is Aaron Glenn? Like, how secure is he in his job?
He
And then
don't
secondly,
he don't make
who's
it.
their offensive coordinator? Because he might have to fire their offense if he does keep his job after this year. He might have to change offensive coordinators because do you trust this guy to develop the next quarterback? Because obviously, Aaron Glenn, being a defensive minded coach, he ain't developing no quarterback. So
I
it's
put
going
it
to be
like
dependent on the offensive coordinator,
one
whoever
safe
it is.
there. The only guy safe there is probably the GM. He showed you he could pick great players, and these coaches and this staff has done nothing with them. You could name at least 10 to 15 great draft picks that he's took, and there's 4 or 5 of them on the team now.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
I'll say this about the GM though. How safe is his job? Because he hired Robert Saleh, that didn't work. He hired Aaron Glenn, that's not going to work. So can you trust his judgment in hiring coaches? I mean,
well,
he can pick players, but can he hire coaches?
see, that's the thing. To me, a GM doesn't supposed to pick the coaches. He picks the players for the coach. So the owner gotta find the coaches, right?
Mhm.
The GM just should be just giving you the talent. He doesn't supposed to do anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the scouts, bring me the talent, and let the coaches groom them. Um, they need to reboot. Their players are timing out because the timelines ain't working. You're gonna have to stop paying all these great players, and you're not good. Your quarterback is iffy. My guess is they get the top pick in the draft, right? They hire a coach that can come and pick whatever quarterback he wants in that draft and make a marriage. You see what I'm saying? So I say they pick an offensive minded coach. He brings in this whole new staff, probably keep the general manager, and he picks his quarterback. Now, does it work? Who knows? It's the Jets, but that would be my guess.
Yeah,
Glenn's
the
not
Jets are still looking for their franchise quarterback since Joe Namath.
Yep, and he honestly wasn't that good. Don't let people might get mad I say that, but he honestly wasn't that good.
Yeah, people like to defend him saying that, "Oh, he played in the '60s." They gotta look at the era, but there's
Yes,
other quarterbacks that played back then that put up better numbers.
put it like this: he invented style in the NFL. I will not take that from you. I'm saying he did invent the style. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like be flashy, show up. You
I'm
know,
saying though, you look at other quarterbacks of that era, would it be like Bart Starr or
they
Johnny
a
Unitas?
lot better than him.
Yeah, they put up better numbers.
Or it's just a lot better than him. It's like not even close. You know what I'm saying?
He made the Hall of Fame because he won that one Super Bowl.
It's because but he did have the most famous quote. He told them he was winning before it happened. So
Yeah, he guaranteed it. That's another
yeah,
thing.
you got to respect that. And he said it with that pizzazz that only he
Yeah,
had. And that's why it was like, yeah, he's that dude. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So it wasn't really about the actual ball. But I agree. They need a quarterback badly.
All right. Well, so we'll move on to the next game. We both agree the Panthers beat the Jets. So the next game we have New England at 4-2 at the Tennessee Titans 1-5. The big story of this game is the Tennessee ownership. They agreed with Cam Ward. Team is ass, so they
Yeah.
decided to fire their coach. And Mike McCoy, the offensive coordinator, he will now take over as the head coach, the interim head coach.
Yeah.
So the Patriots, they're 7-point favorites on the road at Tennessee. I will say also too another thing is this is the third year in a row that the team that got the number one pick fired their coach mid-season.
Yeah.
And, Trevor Lawrence, a few years ago. They fired Urban Meyer mid-season.
Yep.
Last year with Caleb Williams. I mean, excuse me, the year before that with Bryce Young, Carolina, they fired their coach mid-season. Last year with Caleb Williams, Chicago fired Matt Eberflus mid-season. Now this year, the Titans firing Brian Callahan mid-season. So, what's your thoughts on this Patriots Titans game, and do you think the coaching change will make a difference?
First thing I'll say, and then I'll make it simple. This is another reason why the NFL is failing young quarterbacks. Now, granted, they might have not had the right guy, and sometimes it's better you realize it early and try to get someone in there that help boost that development. But this bringing a young guy in and keep making them learn new systems is failing these kids. It's a big part of what's failing them. And Tennessee is a big part of that problem. You know what I'm saying? They're one of the teams that's doing that way too often. So that's that part of it. As far as the game, this is going to be a murder scene. Mike Vrabel is going to have his team come in here and annihilate you. This is going to be the Vrabel revenge game.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Titans fired him.
41-10,
Yeah,
something like that. It's going to be bad. Everybody's scoring touchdowns. Get every one of them in your lineup. Booty, Douglas, Diggs, probably both running backs. Man, listen,
Drake
come,
May
yeah,
have him as a
might
fantasy
come out of
quarterback.
retirement and catch one. My point is this it's gonna be a massacre. You know what I'm saying? So I just keep it that short. Vrabel's coming, Daddy's home. That's it. The name of this game is Daddy's home.
Yeah, in Tennessee, they haven't been the same since they fired Vrabel.
Yeah, the
Uh,
defense was spectacular with him.
yeah, and I mean Tennessee, you're right. They're part of the problem. Mike Vrabel had one losing season, and they fired him.
Yeah, he also fought with them to keep AJ Brown,
Yeah,
and they
and,
gave
and
him
they
up.
traded and they traded him because they didn't want to pay him.
Do you remember? I go up. Hold up. Bonus. Do you remember the kid they drafted to replace him?
I don't even think he's on the team anymore. I don't remember.
Traylon Burks. I believe he just got released.
Uh,
But hey, I'm just saying, when a coach tells you don't trade his best player, maybe you want to listen. He had you fighting for at least a contender with Ryan Tannehill.
they were in the AFC Championship game.
With Ryan Tannehill. Like, you don't get rid of that coach. You get him a goddamn quarterback. Like that. But
And,
Vrabel gets
and I don't understand their ownership. Like, why not pay AJ Brown? He's not a running back. So you didn't want to pay AJ Brown, you let him go. You didn't want to pay Derrick Henry, so you let him go. What do you expect Mike Vrabel to do?
welcome to Tennessee.
And then we talked about this in preseason, and we talked about it again a couple weeks ago. That they were thinking, "Oh, Will Levis, he's the problem. So we're
Oh,
just gonna draft another quarterback." But Will Levis is not the problem.
I
It
told
was
you
Brian Callahan.
I
You
like
can't,
Will.
they gave Brian Callahan all the credit because he was the offensive coordinator for developing Joe Burrow, and we talked about it. Brian Callahan don't call no plays. Zach Taylor calls the plays. So how much of that development was even Brian Callahan?
It's
I
why
give, I give the credit to Zach Taylor, not Brian Callahan.
you think Sean McVay don't do it when you take his offensive coaches? What do you think they're actually doing? They're
Yeah, and
learning,
Zach Taylor comes from that McVay system.
bro. What they're doing is learning from McVay
Yeah,
so they can get a job and see how good they can be. But while they're there, they're proteges. They're not ripping up his playbook. They're
well,
looking to see how he moves. That's all they're doing.
yeah, well, apparently Callahan didn't learn anything from Zach Taylor.
Hey, and that's how it goes. Not all great learners are great teachers, right? So it is what it is. Some do better than others. I mean, but
Yeah, so they blamed Will Levis, and we talked about during preseason that we were surprised that not preseason but the draft. We were
yeah,
surprised that they were going to take a quarterback because like Will Levis, he's only like in his fourth year.
I want the
And like
Rams
we
to
were surprised they gave up on him so soon and just drafted another quarterback. And now you have Cam Ward in there, and he looks worse than Will Levis right now.
I think right now we need that the Rams should try to steal Will Levis for a late round pick. He's like the perfect guy to have behind Matthew Stafford because they have similar traits. You know what I'm saying? Like You don't,
And with him being on IR, there's really no pressure, so he can just sit and learn.
bro. I'm telling you, right now he's the ultimate steal. Like, forget wasting a first. Imagine you get your quarterback of the future, right?
Yeah.
Not as saying he does, but you get him behind, to mold him behind Stafford for say, hopefully 2 more years, but maybe one, right? So two meaning this year and next year before he takes the reign, right? But you doing that, it allows you. Imagine you just take two playmakers in the first round next year. Think of it. I don't want to waste those picks on it. We might need a left tackle. We might need a right tackle. We might a missed on tight
Yeah,
end,
use those picks on a position that we need.
cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking at, bro. Like, I don't want to, and we have a plethora of picks, so we could come out of next year looking so great for the
They
future.
they should take the Detroit Lions, route, which is instead of drafting a quarterback, we're gonna get a young quarterback who's
Yep.
been in the league for a while, and then we're gonna just use our draft picks on positions that we need to
Yep.
strengthen our team and build around the quarterback
Think
instead of
like this.
hey, let's just waste our draft pick on a quarterback, but yet the rest of the team is still ass.
One thing is this. What do you think it would take to pull Will Levis from the Titans? I say right now, sixth rounder will get him.
I was gonna say seventh. He's on IR right now. He can't even play.
I don't even think they turned down the seventh because I think the thing right now is get him out of the wind of Cam Ward so he's not looking over his back. Think that would be the whole process there. So I think anything you offered for him, they would say yes.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
right now he has no value. He's injured, so he's out for the season. I forgot what because he got hurt in the preseason. I forgot what happened to him. But
I
I know
want
he's
to
out
say
for
I
the
want
season.
to say they IR'd him just for what I told you. Like, so Ward isn't playing with him behind his back. Like, think that's all it was. I guarantee you he's been good for a while. I can almost guarantee it. I mean, but if someone's gonna steal that kid, and I think he has all the mechanics to be a stud in this league.
Yeah, it says the Titans put Will Levis on IR because he had shoulder surgery. He hurt his shoulder in preseason.
I, you think he's still hurting from that surgery?
I mean, yeah, if he had the surgery in August, we're now in October.
I guarantee you looking at well, let's see the details. What type of surgery was this?
It didn't say. It doesn't say. It just said he had surgery and he's
I
gonna
bet you
miss.
I
He's gonna
bet
miss the 2025 season.
you wanna know what my guess probably is, why it's undisclosed? It's a cleanup. You know what that means? It's absolutely nothing.
They just
It's
touched
nothing.
up. Yeah, I mean, you might be right. The
Like,
Titans probably just put him on IR just to get
yeah, you it's
look at his back.
that's why it's undisclosed because you're gonna hear next year they took a fine over report injuries that may or may not been accurate. Y'all see it, but if they're not gonna tell you the exact surgery, you got to clean up.
Well, that's why I said a seventh round pick. Because my point is he's on IR for the whole season, so he has no value. So
Yeah,
if the Rams or any other team, I'll just give him a 7th round pick.
I agree.
He's injured. He can't do anything for you, and he can't do anything for us this year. So just give it. We'll give you a seventh, and we can let him sit on the bench, and he could be our QB. Let him learn for like the rest of this year, then all of next year, and then 2027 we'll see what happens.
I agree. I'm all in, but we could dive to the next game. I'm definitely with that though.
Yeah. So anyway, I agree with you though. I think the Patriots win, and they're definitely covering the 7 points.
Yeah,
All right. So the next game we have the New York Giants 2-4 at the Denver Broncos 4-2. The Broncos at 4-2. They're 4-2, but they haven't really played well. And the Giants with their win last week, they have like completely turned the NFC East upside down because now all four teams in that division have a chance to win that division.
yeah,
Even the Giants, they're only 2 games back now.
yeah.
So they went from looking like they're gonna have a top five pick to where they're now competing for a playoff spot. And then also too, Brian Dayball, he got in trouble because when Jackson Dart was in
But he ran.
concussion protocol, he walked into the blue tent
Oh,
and
yo, was
telling the doctor, trying to pressure the doctor to get him back out there.
yeah,
He's like, if I gotta play Russ more than two snaps, I'm about to get fired. You better get his ass, better clear his ass,
yeah,
get his ass back on the field.
yeah. Because you know he's He's on eggshells. Yo, listen,
Yeah,
Dotson didn't save his life without him. One or the other.
yeah, yeah, and the owner was at the game last week. He didn't think the owner was gonna be there because they announced he had cancer. They thought maybe he was be in for treatment. The owner showed up. He's
They
like,
picked
"No, the owner's here. You better clear his ass. I don't care."
they picked a good game to whoop ass.
Yeah,
Because if you because belt to ass versus the Eagles might have saved your job. Like that
yeah,
that game. Remember we was talking about what could save his job? I never thought they was gonna beat the Eagles. That game alone could potentially save his career. I mean, save his job for a little bit.
yeah. I mean, we'll see, but yeah, definitely. But yeah, he might get in trouble. They're saying that he might, the NFL might fine him because you can't pressure the doctors into clearing the guy. You
Yeah,
got to go through protocol.
yeah.
Even though Jackson Dart did look okay afterwards,
I
but
think
he's still in concussion protocol.
yeah, but the thing was, if you watch the play, you see that he wasn't hurting from a head injury. His helmet went down and went back up and scraped his face.
Yeah,
So you seen what hurt him. If like anybody that knows football, it's like, bro, this isn't a concussion issue. That's why he was in there on their ass. It's like, look it, his helmet came down and went up and scratched him. You know what I'm saying? Or burned him. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
The point is though is that if he wasn't on the hot seat, he probably wouldn't have said
of
anything to
course,
the doctor.
of course not. Of course. But as a football player, I know what he was saying. He was saying
Yeah,
you're checking the wrong things. Like look for a rug burn on the top of his nose and his forehead. I guarantee you'll find it. You see what I'm saying? Like that's it. But what is the spread on this game?
So I think the spread's actually kind of high, but the Broncos they're 7 point favorites at home. Um, So yeah, what's your thoughts on this game, Giants and Broncos? And the Giants, I will say, they have played a lot better since they made the change at quarterback. Like
Well,
Jackson Dart's giving that team some juice, and
absolutely.
everybody has rallied around him. Even the defense.
Scatterbo's
Brian Burns talked about it after the game, just how much energy he gives that team,
I
which
agree.
is something that they didn't have with Russell Wilson.
Yep. He got that rally. I got the Broncos winning. I don't know about covering. That's a high score, so I'd probably stay away from the Giants as far as spread. But I think that the Denver's defense would be good enough to keep this game low enough for their offense to win the game. So I'm gonna go with Denver.
Yeah, I agree. I think Denver will win. I think their defense is good enough. They're gonna Jackson Dart's still a rookie. So
Yeah.
he is liable to make mistakes. They might confuse him with different looks that he hasn't seen before. Um, but I think the Giants will cover
Yeah.
because the Broncos they struggled against a very bad Jets team. The Giants are better, so I think the Giants can at least cover the 7 points. I could see this being like a 17-13, maybe a 16-10 type of game or 13-10 type of game. The Broncos offensively has is not really all that good. So I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think the Broncos will pull it out. I'm only giving the Broncos the edge because they're at home.
I
And I will say this about the Giants, they got a nice looking squad going. Um,
do that.
all their best players are under 30. That front four on their defense, they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with for years to come. With Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, and Kivon Thibodeau. If they can fix up the back of the defense, watch out for the Giants. And then offensively, Jackson Dart so far looks like he's the best quarterback out of this draft class.
Yes, he does.
They got a young running back in Cam Scatterbo, rookie. We know what Malik Neighbors could do once he's healthy, a wide receiver one. I
Yeah.
like what I've seen from the tight end, Theo Johnson. He has great chemistry with Jackson Dart.
Wandell
I
Rob.
didn't even know who he was until Jackson Dart became the starter because for whatever reason, Russ wasn't throwing him the ball,
Yeah.
but Jackson Dart's using him. The one thing I will say about the Giants though is that they need to find a wide receiver too, because Darius Slayton is a wide receiver 3 or 4 masquerading as a two. And now that Neighbors is hurt and he has to move up to wide receiver one,
Yeah.
I think he's being exposed a little bit.
Wandell Robinson is a good three though.
Yeah,
He's a
he is.
three, especially if
They,
you throw
they
him
gotta
in the slot.
I think they gotta find a solid two behind Neighbors.
Yeah, they paid Slayton too, which I don't know why. I don't. I mean, he's not a bad player, but like you said, he's not like the guy you want as a one or a two. Like that
No,
just wouldn't be what I wanted. But
he's more of a 3 or a 4.
yeah, and but I do think that their team will be very good. in the
Yeah,
future.
the only question for the Giants is, do they have the right coach? But
Um,
that team, they're young too. So I guess that team, they're set up to make some noise for at
think,
least the next
think like think
five,
like
five
this.
or 10 years.
Think like this. Russ was in that team looked like that, no energy. They nothing. You thought it was the coach, or people assume, right?
Yeah,
Have dots in there, scatterboats throwing shirts around. They're all running around. Maybe this is their coach's personality, and the quarterback was just Russ. Just don't have personality. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's a great point because you could say the same thing too about Daniel Jones last year.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So that could be what it is. Maybe he needed someone with a little bit of personality because maybe that's the type of coach he is. Because you see him out there running around, he's excited now. All
Yeah,
the players and
head button players.
everything's vibrant now. It's
Yeah,
like, where was this at? Russ might have just had it toned down. Like he's cool, calm, collective. Now maybe just don't have a strong personality, so it might have just not been there. But now you got the coach, you got the right quarterback in, you got the running back going crazy. This could be his personality. So you might have the exact coach, and he just needed the right quarterback. So we'll see. I mean, it looks good now.
we'll see. But like I said, the Giants, man, they're set up. I don't want to say they're going to be a dynasty or anything, but I think they're set up to at least like compete. Like it wouldn't surprise me if in the next like 3 to 4 years this team is in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
The talent, the
what
talent
I'm
is there.
what I'm looking at right now, I wouldn't fire him. I wouldn't. I'd give him more time. Like I even if this year don't go good, I'm giving him at least one more year with that. Because I
Yeah,
like what I see now. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree.
like a couple
And right now they still have the training wheels on Dart because
yeah,
they won't let them throw down the field. Everything's either short or intermediate. So
yeah,
just imagine what this offense can be
yeah.
once he takes the training wheels off and lets Dart throw the
And
ball
with
down the field.
no neighbors. So
Yeah,
you're not really getting the full sample. Like imagine next year they get another wide receiver in the draft. Neighbors is healthy. Um, Dots more progressed. Scatterbo. I don't know if you want to restart this. Like
Johnson, the tight end.
yeah, so what I would want to do is give him one more year. Like, cause right now it looks like he's on to something. So that's just what I would do personally. I think he's safe. I think it's crazy that in 3 games he changed my mind, but I think he went from first man out to he's almost off the hot seat. He wins this week, he's probably not on a hot seat.
Yeah, and I mean, and maybe too ownership will look at it because we talked about this. The Giants, they were 3-14 last year, one
Yeah,
of the worst teams in football, and their reward was they got the hardest schedule this year, which is
yeah,
weird. So maybe ownership will look at it too. It's like you said, ever since he made the change in quarterback, there's just a different energy and a different vibe with this team. And even though this team might not make the playoffs and win a lot of games, you can look at the energy, and then as the ownership, maybe can give them a benefit of doubt. It's like, well, we did have the hardest schedule in the NFL.
yeah. I think he's already has earned one more year, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see. But like I said, I think that the talent's there for the Giants. Their future looks really bright. Like
Yeah,
they're the one team where they're the one bad team, I should say, where if I'm a fan of the Giants, I'm excited for the future. But we
100,
might suck right now, but 3, 4 years from now, I think this team's gonna make some noise.
100%.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Giants be this good since they had like Eli and Justin Tuck and all those guys.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so the next game is the Indianapolis Colts at 5-1. They're tied for the best record in football against the LA Chargers at 4-2. The Chargers are at home. I wonder what Cam Bynum has to say this week because the last time the Colts were in LA, he said the Rams pump up crowd noise. We'll see what he says about Chargers fans this week.
Yeah.
The Chargers are 1 point favorites at home against the Colts. Um, we'll see what Carly Ursay and the boys do. But what's your thought on this game?
Um, I was trying to pull up my picks because I genuinely am not sure who I picked because I picked my games on Tuesday, but I'm gonna go with the Chargers. This game could kind of go either way. It's probably the biggest coin flip of the week so far that we went through. Either one of these teams get hot, they could win. I just right now, I know the Colts they're good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're bad. Their one losses to the Rams, where they arguably had that game under control, had they not shot themselves in the foot throwing the ball at the 1 yard line. But I, I mean, I got way more respect for Herbert than Jones as a starting quarterback in the NFL. And I just think that this is, I mean, the Chargers. Remember, we talked about this before. I said it, I don't think this the same old Chargers, the same way I don't believe this the same old Jaguars. I think those are the two teams that definitely turn the curve, right? So these are the games you expect the Chargers to lose. Now, if I'm picking against them, they're the same old Chargers. I think that the Colts lose this game. I mean, I think the Chargers find a way to win it. I think they have the better quarterback. I think they have the better offense, minus the running back situation. I think the defense Colts might have a little bit of a nod there, but I think that the Chargers defense can get to Jones and rattle him. I don't think the Colts is gonna rattle Herbert. I think Herbert knows he's great.
No, actually, I think the Chargers have the better defense. I saw Jacoby Brissett last week, light this Colts defense up.
Yeah,
So, the Colts, they might have the best record in football, but I don't think they're the best team in football. And, as far as the Chargers go, I agree with you. I think they're the better team. I think the reason why the Chargers have struggled as of late is all the injuries. Their O-line is decimated. They're
that's
like
yeah.
on their, like,
When
3rd and 4th string left tackle right now.
Altwell went down, it's all been bad, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
They're on their 3rd, they're, like, on their 3rd string right tackle, like, their 4th string left tackle. The O-line is decimated, and also too, running backs, they're on their 3rd string running back. Najee Harris is out for the season. His backup got hurt, so they're just been decimated with injuries. But I do like the Chargers at home. I agree with you. I think, Justin Herbert obviously is the better quarterback. I think the Chargers are the better team. I think it's gonna be close.
I think they got the better coach.
Betting betting thinks it's gonna be close. Yeah, I think they have a better coach. Um, and I think Jim Harbaugh is a better coach than, Carly Ursay,
Yeah,
but the Chargers are 1-point favorites, so even the betting odds, I think it's gonna be a close game.
yeah,
So I think, I'm gonna take the Chargers. I agree with you, it's gonna be a coin flip, but I'm gonna go with my gut and go with the Chargers in this game.
yeah. I think the Chargers get them by a small margin.
Alright, the next game is, hold on, my microphone. So look at the next game, we have the Green Bay Packers at 3-1-1 at the Arizona Cardinals 2-4. The Packers are 7-point favorites in this game because Kyler Murray is out. It's gonna be Jacoby Brissett again in this game. The Packers, I still don't understand why they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl. From what I've seen, I just don't see what everybody else is seeing. But the Bills, the favorites is the Bills and the Packers to play each other in the Super Bowl, and I don't see it from neither one of those two teams.
Me neither. I
Maybe they're seeing something that we're not seeing.
I don't think neither one of those teams sniffed the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
But
me neither. Not
so-
from what I've seen. But yeah, the Packers are 7-point favorites in this game. Arizona's at home. Arizona, they've now lost 4 in a row after starting out the season 2-0, and we talked about it. Yeah, the Cardinals won their first 2 games, but they were against bad teams. They beat New Orleans and Carolina,
yep,
and now Carolina actually has a better record than Arizona now.
yep,
So, and then for Green Bay, they looked dominant the first 2 weeks, but then since then they've struggled. They lost to Cleveland, they tied against Dallas,
yep,
and then they barely beat Cincinnati with the quarterback who just got there like 3 days earlier.
yeah. Fair to say.
So, and then I was impressed from what I saw with Jacoby Brissett last week.
Yeah, he balled out.
Yeah, he balled out. So I'm gonna take the Packers to win, but I got the Cardinals covering the 7 points.
I'm gonna match you with that. That's about how I see it. I think Jacoby's one of those guys where he won't win you games. He really won't do much to lose the game for you neither, though. So I think he'll keep it close. I think the Packers defense will eventually close this game out, but I don't think it would be a blowout. So I'll match you on that.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna cover the 7 points.
Yeah, I don't see that coming. They just haven't looked good enough to blow anybody out.
Nah. And then the next game is the Washington Commanders at 3-3 at the Dallas Cowboys at 2-3-1. The Cowboys surprisingly are 1.5 point favorites at home. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. The Cowboys have that weird team. They have the number one offense in the NFL, but they have the worst defense in the NFL, and their defense took a hit because Trayvon Diggs is out. He somehow suffered concussion in his house. I
Yeah,
don't know what the hell he was doing, but he suffered concussion at his house, so he's out for this game. So a already bad Cowboys defense just gets worse.
yeah.
And Matt, like I said, Matt Eberflus, he was a terrible head coach. He might even be a worse defensive coordinator. I don't know what he's going to do because he can't coach and he can't coach defense. Maybe move him to offense. I don't know, but that they were questioning Schottenheimer, Brian Schottenheimer, the Cowboys coach. They were asking him if he's going to fire Eberflus. He said no. He's not gonna make any changes. But the Cowboys continue to have the worst defense. And then the Commanders coming off that loss last week to the Bears. Jaden Daniels fumbling and then giving the Bears short field to kick the game winning field goal. So what's your thoughts on the Commanders, Cowboys?
Uh,
Cowboys 1.5 point favorites.
I think this is going to be a high scoring game. Um, would be the first thing I would say. I have more. I guess I would just lean with who I have more trust in right now, which should be the Commanders. I don't even though they lost to the Bears last week. I would say the Commanders would probably be my pick in this game. I think they're more easily trusted than the Cowboys. This is Daniels was last week was his first game back, right?
No, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Well, either way, I expect him to be in full stride now. I think that their defense could make more stops than Dallas could. I think that would probably be the determining factor for me. So I'll go with the Commanders winning this game. What is you said the Cowboys are the favorite?
Yeah, Cowboys are 1.5 point favorites. And they announced today that CeeDee Lamb will play tomorrow, so they get CeeDee Lamb back.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
That might change things.
I'm still taking the Commanders only because I agree with you. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game, but that Cowboys defense is terrible,
Oh, for sure, for sure.
and then losing Trayvon Diggs doesn't help. So it's gonna make them worse.
Yep.
Now the bad news for the Commanders though is that Debo is out, and I don't know if Terry McLaurin's still out too. So I don't know who Jaden Daniels is gonna throw the ball to. But it might not even matter because that Cowboys defense is so bad.
For real.
I think the Commanders, even though he's going to be out his top two receivers, Luke McCaffrey, he's a nice wide receiver three. I think he'll ball out. But I think the Commanders win it. It'll be a high scoring, but I think it'll be a close game.
I agree. I definitely agree. I was looking to check something. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not changing no picks. But yeah, I mean that's what it is. I think it just comes down to the Commanders. Dallas is gonna put up points. I just
They've been putting up points on everybody.
yeah, it's just as
Except for the
far as
Bears.
go ahead.
So they put up points on everybody except for the Bears. The
Yeah,
Bears shut them down.
correct. But yeah, let's go with Jaden Daniels having a big game.
Right. Well, then obviously we have Washington covering the 1.5, so picking them to win.
Yes, we do.
All right, and then the Sunday night game, we have the Atlanta Falcons 3-2 at the San Francisco 49ers 4-2.
Yeah,
Mac Jones will get to start again as Brock Purdy's out with the turf toe. Niners had a huge loss last week. Fred Warner broke his ankle, so he's out for the season.
yeah,
And I'll say this: if the Niners somehow make the playoffs, Kyle Shanahan has to be coach of the year. Like no ifs, ands, or but about it. He's got
I
to be
think,
the coach of the year. I mean, not to mention he's Mac Jones is having the best year of his career,
yeah.
playing for Kyle Shanahan as well.
I don't know if Mac getting that job back. Tell you the truth, they're gonna be in a situation soon.
Oh, they had to make a choice between him and Purdy.
Yeah, there's gonna be a situation soon. I mean, it just comes down
Oh,
to
and Purdy, he tried to rush back with that turf toe and ended up making it worse.
yeah.
He
I
has
think
to play since.
either that or they sent him like go hail up. We see what you're trying to do and we don't need it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's probably Shanahan telling you, look, don't be scared of Mac Jones because I already think he's better than you. So you don't gotta worry about that part. You gotta heal up. Because if you come looking like that, I'm gonna start him over you.
But not only that, but also too, he's probably looking at John Lynch, the GM, like, bro, if you listen to me and drafted this kid instead of Trey Lance,
We'd have a ring,
you,
probably.
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. But I guess with that being said, this is simple. Atlanta don't win this game. I got the
Oh, my bad. Real quickly, the Niners are 1.5 point favorites at home.
unless it was over 7, I wouldn't have cared. I got the Niners winning this game, covering easy.
Yeah, I agree. The Falcons, they're like the most inconsistent team. They look good one week and then they play like ass the next week, and then they look good the next week and they play like ass. Like
Oh,
they
they
don't,
really pissing me off when it comes to that draft pick. They're pissing me off. They're
yeah.
games they don't supposed to win. Then the games that I like, they're gonna. This is why I told you. That's the ones that told me the regiment this year. Beat the games you win the games you don't supposed to, and lose the ones that you're supposed to. That's the NFL's motto this year. Go and beat the Bills, and then go get blown out by the Panthers. Like,
Yeah.
what what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying?
So
But
I mean, yeah, the Falcons are just inconsistent. I think the Niners will win despite all the injuries. My only question for the Niners, like I know they're in first place in our division because they have all the tiebreakers
yeah,
with Seattle and LA.
yeah.
But at some point, all these injuries gotta creep up and catch up to them.
Either that or look at it like this: Kittle's back this week.
Yeah,
They might get healthier before that downfall comes. And the quarterback might not be an injury no more. It might be a benefit. So you look
well,
if
yeah, Brock Purdy still hasn't gotten surgery on his toe. He's not going to Joe Burrow, right? He's still trying to come back
yeah,
and
but
play.
my thing is this: that injury might not matter. It might have gave them an upgrade. Where the other injuries look like they'll all be back soon. Other than the Bosa and
Warner.
uh, Warner, which you're not getting back. You know what I'm saying? So that is that's something you need to figure out. That's big. But as far as offense, Kittle looks like he's back this week, and Mac Jones may be your starter. So I don't know how much injuries they're dealing with on offense. And Pearsall, I think, is back this week. So if you have Pearsall out there, um, you get back Kittle, give Jennings a week or two off. Like their offense could bounce back quick. It's just really about
After this
bringing.
too, I think Kittle's injury might have been a blessing in disguise too, because we didn't know how good his backup was until he
Yeah,
started playing.
yeah. There you go. Another. That's what I'm telling you. Some of these injuries I don't think was big deals. I mean, they just weren't. They got Kendrick Bourne all of a sudden is a star. So you see when they're losing, they're gaining,
Well, yeah, because I mean Kendrick Bourne, he played for the Niners before, so he knows the offense.
and he
He
played
played
for
with Mac Jones in New England, so they have a
yeah.
chemistry together too.
Bro, he went first came out went 10 catches for a buck 42. People was like, oh, best game of his career. Next game, he was like, oh yeah, well, how about I match a buck 42 with 5 catches?
Yeah,
That's better. It's like, what? It's like how where was this? So I don't know how much of these is losses that they've taken. It seems like they're getting gains in losses. So that's just all I'm saying. As far as their defense, it is what it is. They drafted a lot of talent.
well, I'm
Atlanta,
also this, but their defense has played better than I thought because they. I think I saw a stat last week. Only out of their 11 starters last year, only 3 came back this year.
yeah,
Out of those 3, Bosa and Warner are out, but yet the defense is still playing well. I mean, that defense for the most part played well against Tampa last week. What hurt them was that 3rd and 14, where somehow Baker Mayfield broke out of like 2 sacks and got the first down with his legs, and then that the game was just over after that. Because the next play, Mayfield hit that wide receiver for like a 77-yard bomb for a touchdown. But had they got the sack and stopped them on 3rd down, it might be a different ball game.
I agree. I definitely agree on that. Um, but yeah, you got San Fran winning and covering as well, right?
Yeah, so the point spread is 1.5, but we're both taking San Fran.
Yeah,
So we'll move on to Monday night. One of the benefits of ESPN making that deal with the NFL is that they're getting more games because it seems like every week we have a Monday night doubleheader.
yeah, facts.
So the first game is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 5-1 at the Detroit Lions. I'm actually surprised by this point spread. The Lions are 6-point favorites at home. The Lions have not lost back-to-back games since 2022. And then this game also might decide. Well, it's still early, so maybe it won't decide. But the two MVP favorites right now, Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff, going up against each other. But what's your thoughts on this game between the Bucks and the Lions? And also, too, Mike Evans and Mika Ibuka are both out for this game.
Yeah, I think Buccaneers are overachieving a little bit. I think they get exposed this game personally. I think Detroit covers. I mean, I think this is going to be the game. It's going to be over when the fourth quarter, halfway through the fourth quarter, the Bucks going to know this isn't the game they're coming back. That's how I look at it. The Lions are just overall better than them. The Lions are one of the top three teams in the NFL. I don't believe the Buccaneers are. I'm not on that. I'm not on that train. I mean, I just don't think that it's as good as they've been playing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Lions are going to be pissed off, obviously, about what happened last week,
Yeah,
because that game kind of got away from them. Even though some people want to blame the referees, and you can make that argument. Tampa Bay, they've been one of they're 5-1, but I think they're like the first team in NFL history where they've won all their games on like last second, either touchdowns or field goals. And at some point, like your luck's gonna run out.
yeah.
Um, but I am surprised though that the Lions are 6-point favorites. I thought it'd be like maybe 2 or 3 or 2.5, 3.5.
I think they know that the Lions are going to take out all their anger on this poor Buccaneers team that really isn't as good as their record. So
Yeah, and they have the injuries with their wide receivers.
this has blowout written on it. Has blowout written all over it. I mean, and that's why they put the 6 points. They know that Tampa isn't actually as good as Detroit. Doesn't matter what that record says.
And okay, for MVP though, who do you think tries to do too much to prove that they should be MVP? Maybe Baker or Jared Goff?
Um, I think Baker's always had the chip on his shoulder. I think Jared got a chip on his shoulder when he got traded to Detroit. But I think that's who Baker is. He's the underdog. So when it comes to going all out for that MVP, it's gonna be Baker. Like that's he loves the limelight. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I can see Jared Goff. He to me, he seems like the type of person that doesn't really care about stuff like MVP.
doesn't care about
He's
that.
just gonna play whatever the defense gives him. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah,
So if the defense is going all out to stop the run, he could beat you with the pass. If they're gonna stop the pass, he
yeah.
has no problem just handing the ball off and only throwing for like 180
I
yards, whatever
I
it is.
agree. I agree. I think Jared Goff is a lot more comfortable and solidified. Sounds strange that Baker's paid and he's not comfortable, but I still think he plays like he's not comfortable. I think that's like his mind state.
Yeah, and another thing too that surprised me, I found this out last week. I didn't realize Jared Goff has actually played more games for the Lions than he ever did with the Rams.
Yeah, I didn't know that neither.
Yeah, I didn't realize it's been that long since the
Yeah,
trade.
me neither. Me neither. That's a that's a hard pill to swallow right there.
Yeah, and then the last game of the week, the other Monday night game, the West Coast Monday night game, you have the Houston Texans at 2-3 at the Seattle Seahawks 4-2. Houston, after starting out the season 0-3, have now won 2 games in a row. Granted, they're against two of the worst teams in the league, and the Tennessee Titans and the Baltimore Ravens. Seattle, as we mentioned before, they're 4-2. They're currently tied with the Niners and the Rams for first place in the NFC West. But the Rams have the tiebreaker. I mean, excuse me, the Niners have the tiebreaker because the Niners beat both teams. And I think Seattle has the tiebreaker over the Rams because Seattle right now has a better division record than the Rams. Because the Rams have only played one division game and they lost that game. Well, I think Seattle, they're 1-1 in the division because they lost to the Niners, beat the Cardinals. But anyway, Seattle, they're 3-point favorites in this game. What's your thoughts on Texans Seahawks?
Seahawks win the game going away. Seahawks are really good. Donald showed you, he's showing you he wasn't a one hit wonder with Minnesota, that the
Oh,
Jets just suck as an organization. So, and the Panthers apparently suck too because you had Donald and Baker. Both of them is like killing it. And I mean, you couldn't choose
there's
one.
there's a reason why their coach is now a D coordinator, not a
Give
head
me,
coach.
give me the answer. Who you want right now? Bryce Young, Baker Mayfield, or Sam Donald? I know who's in third.
Yeah, I'd rather have Baker and Donald over Bryce
There
Young.
you go. And you let them both leave when they was both young. and both could have been franchise quarterbacks to bring in someone who looks all right now, but he's not as good as they are, and I don't think he ever will be. Personally, it's just his size will prevent him from being as good as them, and that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, coming out of college, people were questioning his height. He's only like 5'9", 5'10". What I would concern me though was just how skinny he is.
That's
He's
what,
only he's only like 180 pounds. Like that's skinny.
yeah, I don't think his height bothered me neither. He just looks like a junior high kid would be the
Yeah.
part that bothers me. It's like he doesn't. People might not even know this term, but he doesn't even look like he has man muscle. Like you look like a
No, you can see the difference between college and the NFL because in college he didn't really look small,
yeah,
but in the NFL with playing with grown ass men, he looks small. Like you said,
little
he looks
kid.
like he's in middle school.
Yeah, yeah, little kid. But I mean, that's what they chose to do. But Donald's gonna put on another show this week. I believe obviously the Seahawks, Rams, and 49ers all get to 5 wins this week. I will happily take it if the Seahawks and Niners lose and the Rams win. But I believe that the Seahawks, Rams, and Niners make this the most interesting division in football outside of the Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos, which now are all in a dogfight.
Yeah, I mean, this year the NFC West could be last year's AFC West. The
Yeah.
AFC West last year had 3 teams make the playoffs. The NFC West looks like it's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be 3
I'm
teams making
Here's
the playoffs in that
bold
division.
prediction. Both West have 3 teams this year. NFC West gets three. AFC West also gets three. And I also wouldn't be surprised if one of those West Coast divisions wins the Super Bowl. I also wouldn't be surprised if a team from each of those divisions is playing in the Super Bowl. So
Yeah,
this might be a all West Super Bowl, meaning AFC West gets there, they got 3 people that could be. NFC West gets there, they got 3 people that could be. 2 of those teams might be the Super Bowl.
and I wonder too, like if the Seahawks might get any of that, that juju from the Seattle Mariners in baseball. The Mariners they have a chance tomorrow to close out the Toronto Blue Jays and make it to the World Series. And I wonder if that like carries over to the football team. 'Cause I think we saw this in Boston, where you're from. I
Yeah.
can't remember the year, but there was one year where you had the Pats, the Red Sox, and the Celtics like all winning
I think the
all in the
Bruins
same year.
might have won
I
too.
wonder if that would happen this year with Seattle.
Yeah, I think it might have been 4 for 4. I think that the
Oh, the
Bruins won.
Bruins too, yeah.
It was the last chip the Bruins won. I think every team landslided. But that's where it's like, I don't know, man. Does that really supposed to happen? Or is this like design plotting? But Seattle is actually a very, very good team this year. And Donald has stabilized them. I think the one thing they need to do that would benefit them is get rid of Charbonnet. Because for some reason they keep trying to force him into playing. And he has the worst yards per carry in the NFL. It's like 2 point something, maybe
Yeah, and
three.
also too, Kenneth Walker is clearly better than him, so I don't even
Yeah,
know.
Kenneth Walker. I mean, if I was him, I'd be begging to trade me. It's like, bro, you're taking carries from me when I'm averaging close to the top in most yards per carry to give to a guy that's at the bottom, not close to the bottom. He's at the bottom. I'm close to the top. Like, don't take me off the field, fam. There's nothing he could do better than me. But for some reason, there's this problem going on in the NFL where it's like you're good running back. Me, look it. If I'm in the goal line, no way I take out my best running back. I want my best running back in the game. If it's a 2 minute possession, I'm not taking out my best running back. Like you look at these teams, bro. It's like look it. Even the Eagles do it sometimes. You got Saquon Barkley. Why are you putting AJ Dillon in the red zone? Once again, you got Saquon Barkley. Why do you have AJ Dillon in the 2 minute drive? It's almost like you want to get worse in those situations.
Yeah, the only time I can understand it is if it's a team like the Lions where you're trying to change the pace because both running backs are different.
Yeah, not when one's great and one's a bum. Like
No.
doesn't make sense to me. Like so that's in that and then also look at it like that's how they blow bets, bro. It's like if you got that Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown, nah, we got Jalen. was that?
I
We
had
gonna have,
yeah, I think it was my mic.
yeah, but we got Jalen Hurts just tush pushing, and then we're gonna mix in some AJ Dillon. We'll make sure Barkley don't score. That's
Man,
almost,
this push last week was 4 straight times they ran that shit.
yeah. And then they'll also tell you, don't worry, if Barkley takes one to the house, we'll throw a 20-minute late flag and just call it back. You'll be all right. Mhm. But with that being said, I'm gonna jump into this AEW Wrestle Dream. Let them know where to find us, bro.
All right, so you can find us on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe on there. You can find us on Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and we're now on Amazon. Even though I haven't uploaded anything on Amazon yet, but I'll do that soon. You can find us on there as well, and also too, you can follow us on Twitter at Mob Squad 508 and at Expect the Ant, and also to use the code. The QR code's not there. If you look at the bottom of the screen, use that promo code. You get 10% off on all Doobie Energy products.
Yep. Go to W Energy's official page at Mob Squad. That's you not at, but Mob Squad 508. For your promo code, it will give you 10% off all your purchases, not just one, but all your future purchases as well. And with that being said, 6 a.m. for you tomorrow, bro.
Yeah.
9.
So for tonight, I'm about to use my goodies.
Oh, listen, I'm about to do the same thing, my boy.
Spark it up.
Yep, but listen, enjoy your day, and we'll chop it up in a little bit, bro. Hit me if you
All
need
right,
me.
all right, man. Take care.
Yes, sir. Salute.
Salute.